Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video. In Oneness We Are Abe. So in this video, I wanted to bring forward some information that came through in one of my clients' high vibe heart readings. Sometimes when I connect to a client's energy, if the person is open enough, if their heart is open enough, I can connect to some knowledge that that person has. And basically that's kind of what came through. So the energy that came through the light language that I did for this client, they said that you can call us the energy of Jerusalem, further broken down to the energy of Is, Ra, and El, and the light worker mission paths. So if you haven't yet watched one of my earlier videos, it was from about 4 months ago. It's called Is, Ra, and El Mission Paths, Light Worker Missions into 5D. I'm going to put the link to that video below because it'll give you kind of a background regarding the Is, Ra, and El Lightworker mission paths, this greater energy on the planet that guides lightworkers into stepping into their greater purpose, their greater missions on the planet. And not only lightworkers, but basically anyone who is stepping into that higher ascended consciousness and awareness and energy expansion. But it's about tapping into and kind of connecting to these energies on your path so that you're able to align to that energy and have that energy work through you. They describe the Is, Ra, and El energies as kind of like the wind at your back, pushing you through, helping you and guiding you on your path. It's not necessarily a certain purpose or mission, but it's an overall energy that helps you and guides you to move through your greater purpose and your greater mission. So before I begin, I just want to make clear that the information in this video has nothing to do about 3D physical perspective. It's not about the separation, because we're seeing separation in 3D. Has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with politics or any conflict happening on the planet. This is purely based on an energetic reading of a region on and within Gaia, just as much as we on our physical bodies have different energy centers that offer different types of energy for the greater whole of our physical, energetic, mental, spiritual, emotional bodies to come together as a whole and to work together as a whole and to exist together as a whole. So when I sat down to ask about the light language and what they were trying to bring through the light language, a bunch of information came through, and this usually doesn't happen. Only a few paragraphs will come through. But for this person, I was able to tap into something a little bit deeper. And again, this doesn't happen for everyone. So what came through was, again, you can call us Jerusalem, because our energy is contained in the country of Israel. We are energy contained in a sort of box, if you will, on your planet within the boundaries of Israel. I asked why. Why is your energy contained within the boundaries of Israel? And what came through was, because our energy is very strong, and if released, our energy would create drastic shifts on the planet. Our energy contains energy of lightworker mission paths. When a lightworker is ready to open their mission path more fully and strongly, they energetically tap into this sort of box, if you will, of Is, Ra, and El energy that is contained within the boundaries of the land of Israel found on your planet. The person taps into this box of energy in the astral, in the non-physical, energetic, and they open a stream of energy that connects them to this land of Israel. But it's not necessarily about the land of Israel, it's about the energy that is contained within this land of Israel. And this energy, is further connected to the planet deep within Gaia. And we'll go over more of this. I asked, why the land of Israel? And what came through was, Israel is considered the holy land on your planet, not just for the people of Israel, but for the entire collective. In the energy of the land of Israel is energy of Source itself through Gaia. It is contained within the land, and because the people of Israel are connected to the land, the energy of the land is able to work through the people of the land. The people of Israel are not source souls, not all of them at least, because Jesus was one of those source souls that we talked about in the Soul Origins and the 7 Rays of Light, part 4, 5, 6, and 7. They go on to say, but the energy of Source through Gaia is able to flow through the people of Israel and onto the planet. The people of Israel are simply vessels for the greater Source energy through Gaia to move through the people of Israel and onto the planet. The energy runs through the people of Israel on an energetic level, and many do not even notice. If the person is not able to vibrationally match the frequency of Source energy through Gaia, then they will not notice anything. And the energy of Source through Gaia will flow through the vessel in a higher frequency space, not noticeable by the person. So if you think about how a person has different timelines, and there are higher timelines in where you're able to reach higher vibration, it's like I'm kind of seeing how we each kind of exist within these many different layers, and where we align to vibrationally determines the layer of our timeline that we align to and connect with and live and experience from. And so the energy of Source through Gaia for the people of Israel, it doesn't matter where they exist upon in their timeline layers. That energy of Source through Gaia is always going to work with the higher vibrational timeline of that person. So it's more like they are acting as a vessel who hold physical timeline layers for Source through Gaia to be able to open up onto the planet through their higher vibrational timeline layer, if that makes sense. Because as I've spoken about in other videos, energy is more strongly opened onto the planet when it's able to open through physical vessels, through people, through the collective, versus just energy hitting the planet. The energy, when it's opened through a person, it is more powerful and stronger and affects not only the planet, but especially the collective consciousness. The next thing that came through is that Source energy flows through everyone on the planet, every living thing on the planet, everything on the planet. But in the people born of Israel, the energy of Source through Gaia is able to open a portal of energy that connects the light workers and the planet to higher vibrational mission paths. Lightworker mission paths cannot unfold for the person until the person is ready to receive it and step into that greater mission. And this also has to do with the person raising their vibration to be able to vibrationally match with their greater mission path, with their greater purpose, and a higher vibrational experience. What next came through was that the people of Israel, in their recognition of the energy that they hold as a light worker, they then help to spread light worker mission path energy around the globe so that other people can come to mature into and recognize their inner greater mission path that needs to open for them. So in other words, the people of Israel, their energy, as they are spread across the globe, their energy helps to open people to the recognition of their greater purpose and their greater light worker mission path. And then I see how it depends also on the person that is connected to Israel. So it's like if that person is in this higher vibrational space, they're able to bring through that energy more strongly. I don't think it necessarily matters in terms of vibration for the people of Israel, but I have a feeling that them just having that connection to the land helps open that energy, but it also helps if that person is able to hold a higher vibration at the same time. It's like they're able to have a greater impact. And the energy that they bring for the collective, being the people of Israel, is just this energy of opening recognition within people, opening the ability for people to recognize their inner desire for truth, I want to say, and desire for greater purpose. So the people of Israel is not necessarily opening the energy of Is, Ra, and El mission paths for the people. They're just helping to open people to recognizing that energy so that the person can do the work and begin that process to get to a place in where that person can directly connect to the energy of the land of Israel, again, either in the physical or in the non-physical astral, and make that connection to the land itself where it contains that energy of the Is, Ra, and El greater mission path energies. And so that person can do the work to get to that point of receiving that greater energy. I next said, the people of Israel and the country of Israel have a sticky past and history on our planet. Why is this? And what came through was, yes, most definitely. The people of Israel have certainly gone through an energy of crucifixion, basically came throughout your history. And your history is more blinding than your eyes can see, meaning that in your history is truth, hidden in your guilty conscious as a collective. When Jesus died on the cross, it symbolized guilty conscience. Every soul involved opened guilt into the collective consciousness. In the expansion of guilt in the collective consciousness also came the open knowledge of truth. But the collective guilt expanded beyond the opening of truth in your consciousness. This was due to other events in your collective's history that surrounded guilt and the people and the land of Israel. Meaning that every time the energy of guilt was opened and strengthened alongside the energy of Israel and the people of Israel, the energy of truth was also strengthened, but it was suffocated in the heaviness of the guilt. And this in turn further opened more energy of guilt and shame and similar vibrational energies and emotions within so many other aspects of your collective consciousness. Meaning that in this instance, in the duality of your planet, guilt and truth exist within the same coin, two sides of the same coin. The more that one side of the coin is opened and strengthened, the other side of the coin suffocates and is hidden. Your planet and collective's history has hidden truth in the massive guilt. But now is a time for the coin to toss over. In the shifting energy of your planet, guilt in your collective consciousness is being washed away, and open energy of truth is rising to the surface. In your collective's truth is knowledge of Israel, not only as a country, but as a holy land that opens lightworker mission paths. The power of Israel, or rather Is, Ra, El, is the power of remembering who you truly are. In the energy of Is, Ra, El is the energy of your purpose, greater mission, and who you truly are. This, what you would call holy land, when opened in the energy of truth rather than guilt, will open truth upon the whole planet. Guilt in your collective consciousness keeps the energy restricted and contained within the land of Israel only, with access to those who are fully there physically and non-physically to receive it. But opening truth in your collective consciousness will open the energy of Israel and Is, Ra, El to seep onto the whole planet, shifting closed minds, stuck people who think they have no purpose, and people who are deep in what you would call the matrix to finally open their eyes to something greater. They will not understand why the shift of consciousness and awareness and opening to purpose within their own individual consciousness and in their own individual awareness. but they will feel it like the breeze in their hair. It will shift them on a cellular level and snap them out of that matrix hypnotic zone that they were in for so long, and into the greater shifting of consciousness they go. The gateway to opening the doors of the Is, Ra, and El energy is opening the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the energy of the realms of Gaia onto the planet. In the falling domino pieces is the upcoming opening, or rather shifting, of Is, Ra, and El energy from guilt into truth, and the opening of this greater truth into your collective consciousness. This will open greater purpose and higher awareness and consciousness into your collective as a result. So basically, this is kind of tying in why this information of Is, Ra, and El energy opening onto the planet is coming through, tying it into how we've been talking about the divine feminine opening onto the planet with the spring equinox, with the new moon, or the past new moon of April, the 4/4 portal, and how divine feminine is opening strongly onto the planet for this springtime, even throughout the summer is what came through, and then divine masculine equally coming in to balance the energy of divine feminine. And the divine masculine, that sort of gateway opened with this solar flare that was very close to the 4/4 portal, the new moon of April. And so both this divine masculine and divine feminine are opening, sort of intertwining and opening onto the planet at this time, moving through people at this time, helping to shift, cleanse, clear energy. And we'll see how things unfold with these two very strong energies happening right now in the collective on the planet, and then also tying this into the realms of Gaia and how, again, the domino pieces. So even the realms of Gaia are playing this role in the domino pieces to help open those doors of the Is, Ra, and El energy to seep onto the planet, to bust out of those boundaries of the land of Israel and open into the collective, so that people can open up into their own consciousness and awareness, this greater purpose, this greater sense of energy, and wanting to step into their mission and that greater purpose. So what comes through next is that everything is unfolding perfectly, and in your unfolding is every ingredient being added to the greater soup in perfect timing and in perfect order. Many of you are asking, how will the great shift happen, and when will we begin to see the physical effects on New Earth? And we say that in the energetic unfolding of the shifting of your collective consciousness, you will see unfold the opening and shifting of your physical manifestations as a collective. The energetic shifts are happening now, and in perfect timing, they are unfolding in perfect timing, and you will begin to witness the physical manifestations following. So again, right now we are working, so much is happening on an energetic level to shift that collective consciousness, to shift the consciousness, the energy fields, releasing and clearing energy. And just like any manifestation, when you're working in the realms of manifestation, you have to first shift your vibration, your energy, your intention, those energetic, non-physical things, and then the physical will begin to come into alignment with your non-physical vibration. It is an unfolding from that non-physical into the physical, and it is the vibration that is sort of paving the way as to what is being manifested. What comes through next is that the Is, Ra, and El mission paths are not about a person's purpose. They are about the energetic guidance of a person's path that helps guide them towards fulfilling the greater unraveling of their expanded purpose. It is like the wind behind someone's back, pushing them along and supporting and guiding them on their path. Is, Ra, and El are energy fractals of source energy. They are not source itself, but are fractals of source energy that open a portal of energy between Gaia and source itself. Is, Ra, and El energy are like the cord that connects the belly button of a baby to the mother. And when you find alignment with that greater energy source on your planet, meaning that Is, Ra, or El energy that guides your path, you find alignment back to the mother, which is Gaia, and feed directly from source through Gaia. In the Is, Ra, and El mission paths are avenues or channels of all greater purpose for the people of your collective. I asked, does this mean that a person cannot find purpose until they connect to this Is, Ra, or El energy? And what came through was no. A person can find purpose in anything, but the greater soul purpose is held within the alignment with the Is, Ra, or El energy. And when a person aligns with their Is, Ra, or El energy that they are connected to, they will find alignment with their greater soul purpose. So up until now, or up until the time where that Is, Ra, and El energy is able to open up past those boundaries of the country of Israel or the land of Israel, people could still tap into that Is, Ra, and El energy held within those boundaries if they were able to get their vibration to a place where they could tap into that from a soul level as well as possibly in a physical level. But it was still like a pond where people could tap into if they were able to align their vibration in a way where they could tap into that greater soul purpose. But the reason why it's important for those boundaries to sort of break and have that Is, Ra, and El energy not confined in a pond but spread throughout the entire planet is to have that greater soul purpose energy sort of integrate with everyone on the planet so that people can begin to awaken and align to their greater soul purpose without, it's kind of part of the process of stepping out of this sort of matrix box that people are in their consciousness and states of awareness. My next question was, why was the country and people of Israel chosen for this task? And what came through is that the energy of the country of Israel and the land of Israel and the people of Israel were chosen for this task because the land is connected to the belly button of Gaia. And the land of Israel is connected to the people of Israel. But it is the land that holds the energy, not necessarily the people. The people hold the energy due to being connected to the land. The land itself of Israel sits on a portal connected to Gaia's sacral, the belly button. And it is through this belly button portal that feeds energy in and through all the depths of the surface of Earth, within and without. This belly button energy directly connects Gaia to all her children, meaning all life on and within her. The purpose of the energy of the land of Israel and the people of Israel is not absolute, meaning that it's not only held within the energy of Israel and the people of Israel. It is not elite or exclusive. It is for the greater good of all, for everything that exists within and without Gaia, as well as for Gaia herself. In the land of Israel is a feeding tube that connects directly to Gaia, not through the pores of Gaia. So I saw, if you were to see Gaia as a living, breathing being, Gaia herself holds her own energy centers, as well as her own energetic bodies, like we've been talking about in the realms of Gaia. And so basically, I was shown how the land of Israel is that belly button center of the planet, if you were to think of her as a being. And so that energy extended from that belly button is very unique. It is very strong and powerful, especially when you think of a mother connected to her child through the belly button and the cord. It is life life-giving. Not to say that all the other parts of Gaia are not life-giving, because if you think of a human body, we have, all different parts. And so basically what was coming through is just that energy being emitted from different parts of Gaia are different. And we're focusing right now on the energy kind of surrounding that belly button area, which so happens the land of Israel sits right on top, I guess, or sits right on top of that portal. So what came through is that it's not through the pores of Gaia, meaning all the other parts of Gaia besides the belly button, but through a more intimate connection, like a child connected to the mother in the womb and just after birth, before the belly button tube is cut. The people and life on Earth is a child connected to the mother through the belly button tube. But in your disconnection from Source and Gaia, you have cut off the flow of nourishment from the mother. In the reference of child and mother, the cutting of the belly button cord after giving birth is compared to the entering into a physical 3D experience and duality. You have forgotten where you come from, and you have been trying to make it on your own. But in the land of Israel, when the Is, Ra, and El energy is unleashed, the nourishment from Gaia is able to flow again to each one of you. An energetic belly button cord is created, and you will receive a flow of energy, nutrients, and greater soul purpose from not only Gaia, but from Source that is connected and flows through all things through Gaia. And then I had a vision of how in surgery, like I saw doctors removing some sort of blocked artery or vein or something, and the blood, where there was no blood, the blood was able to flow again through all these veins and basically give life again to this part of what they were working on. And so basically what they were saying is that right now the people on the planet are kind of, their cords from their belly buttons are cut. They are not receiving that nourishment from Gaia or from Source through Gaia. And when the Is, Ra, and El energy is able to be released from the boundaries of the land of Israel, that energy will open up into the collective consciousness and open up that greater energy of soul purpose, soul mission, Source energy through or from Gaia, and awaken people to this greater energy. So when you think about light workers have basically done the work or are doing the work to energetically tap into this pond of Is, Ra, and El energy held within the boundaries of the country of Israel. So it's like that contributes much, like the more people open up more and more to this energy, it's like the more and more it filters into the collective consciousness. But then it's like the walls will just burst open and that energy will flow to reach a greater mass of people. And then I asked, but some people say that Peru is actually Earth's sacral chakra. And what came through is that Peru is Earth's sacral chakra in the 3D Earth, but we are reading from 5D Earth. Israel is Earth's 5D sacral chakra, or that area, but really it's the merge of the lower 3 chakras. So as your human chakras are ascending, so are Gaia's. And in your ascended 5D chakras, the lower 3 chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras, they're going to be merging, is what I was shown, into one lower chakra, basically. What came through is that Gaia's lower 3 chakras will also merge into one, with the core of this energy center being at the location of Israel, and I'm sure it expands further out as well. At this time, just as many of you are, Gaia is moving into her ascended chakra system. The ascended chakras are not quite the 5D chakra system just yet for many of you, but a higher vibrational version of your 3D chakras. And so the ascended chakra system is the process of integrating more unconditional love within each of your chakras, which are rooted in the heart. And we spoke about that in one of our past videos. I'll put that video link below. What came through is that in Gaia's process of moving into her ascended chakras and eventually her higher 5D chakras, the energy of Israel is stirring in the midst of this shift. So basically, it's like everything is kind of shifting energetically. And this includes, it's like the domino pieces are being set up to fall. So everything is kind of being shifting. Everything is shifting. Everything is being put into their places. And stirring, it's like the energy is bubbling, basically, in preparation for what's to come. And finally, what came through is that the energy on your planet is setting up the dominoes for the unleashing of the energy contained in Israel. It will be like a whole new birthing process, a child connected to mother through the belly button cord, and the child that is birthed is New Earth 5D in the energy that dominates the planet. And that's what came through, again, for this client that I had who requested a high vibe heart reading. And so I was pleasantly surprised that this knowledge came through in the co-creation of my client and myself and our greater teams in oneness. So thank you so much to my client who allowed me to bring this information forward. And that's all that I have to share for this video. If you have any questions, leave them below. In oneness, we are Abe. Oneness and love be with you.